And with that, I'd like to go ahead and welcome Kathy Barrick. Kathy is the Vice President at ESS, Enterprise Selling Solutions. And today she's going to be talking with us about our consumer proposal software called Comfort Choices. Kathy, it's all you.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, TEC, for having me. I know we've been around quite a while with TEC as a partner, and you know it as Comfort Choices. It's looking a little different these days on how we go to market it with TEC Contractors, but I just want to say thank you for having us and continuing to be a supporter of our company ESS. So I would first like to talk about our modules. Our flagship proposal, replacement proposal module, that's the one most people know about and use. That was the first thing we started with in 2009. And since then, we've added other modules like our commercial proposals. So if you are heavy into commercial, you can use that. You can still use the regular proposals with commercial as well, but we do have a module for commercial that looks a little more utilitarian, some other features that are just for commercial applications. We also have a load calculator, and we use a company called Estated to pull in information for the load calc. It pulls in the age of the home, the square footage, the number of bedrooms, that type of thing. And you just have to add a few other things like linear length glass, and it'll spit out a 5-page report on that home. And it's a great selling feature when you're in front of a customer. We also have dispatching, so you can dispatch your sales reps. It has follow-up. It can send, it'll send an initial appointment to the customer, a reminder the night before, and then the morning of a photo and bio of that sales rep who's coming to the door. And we also have service flat rate. So it's a flat rate service that you can use in the program. And if you follow our categories, it will actually pull in photos and descriptions that are very generic, so they can't go find an exact part and get a cost on the internet for that part. We've also added this year the texting feature. So when you send out any email, whether it's an email for dispatching, whether it's an email for a proposal, a reminder email, anything like that, it's actually going to send a text to that customer as well. And we do know that texts are opened within 90 seconds, where an email can get lost in spam, or maybe it gets buried in their email and they don't open it. So texting is a great way to reach your customers rather quickly. And we also have maintenance reminders. So if you have customers set up on the maintenance plan as a maintenance customer in their profile, you can have up to 4 months, and it will send that customer an email the month before that maintenance is due, letting them know that someone from your office would be calling them to schedule their maintenance. And as a contractor, you also get an email with every customer that you need to contact for the following month to schedule maintenance. And we also have reporting. We have reporting at your fingertips on the dashboard. And we also have reporting where you can export it into Excel files. So there's several ways to get reports out of the program for your company. In 2021, we were rated in the top 20 of Capterra. And Capterra is to software like ReviewBuzz is to contractors. So not only were we in the top 20, but we also were #1 in ease of use, and also #1 in best value. So if you ever want to go to Capterra, you can actually look at our reviews, see what customers are saying about us. And we have just learned not so long ago, we are actually now the emerging favorite as it stands right now in Capterra. We're pretty proud of this. It takes a lot to get people to give you reviews, and when they do, and it's puts you in this in the top 20 of all software HVAC software programs out there. We're pretty proud of that. The proposal process, some of you have seen it. It's obviously we have follow-up text, and they are sent automatically if you're signed up for texting. We have best, better, good option presentation that reinforces your brand and your unique selling proposition. We have videos, updated literature built into our software. So we have all the images and descriptions that we house in our database, all the linked consumer brochures. You can add monthly payment with built-in financing, so you can show a payment. We pull in the AHRI numbers. we have custom colors and headers. So if you want these to be any other colors, you can change those. And if you don't want it to say best, better, good, and budget, you can have it say anything you want. It could be platinum, gold, silver, or bronze. But that's where the images pull in, the links to the consumer brochures. They can click on those links and see the consumer brochure, payment built in, the HRI numbers. One thing that we wanted to point out is we've been tracking like how customers are paying contractors. And last year we noticed that only 2% were paying with cash, 27% paid with check, and 70% paid with some type of deferred payment. That was either they had applied for financing, or they paid with a credit card, or they borrowed from somebody else, some other type of deferred payment. Last year, there was $1.35 billion of all ESS users ran through our programs of sold jobs. So that means, that's a lot of actual sold jobs. That does not include all proposals that were submitted, but only sold proposals. In 2020, TEC users sold 38.3 million through the program, and TEC users, in 2021, TEC users sold over 53 million. So it's a big jump from one year to the next. TEC contractors also submitted 19,000 proposals, or over 19,000 proposals, and the average selling price was well over $7,800. You also notice this graph over here. So best or better and good were the majority of what was sold in the program, 24% of best, but only 16% of the budget model was actually sold. And we know through Carrier that about 70% of what they ship is budget model. So we're doing pretty good in raising the bar in the proposal program. In 2022, we are working on some integrations. We have already have an API with a few things. Our biggest integration right now that we are working on is with FieldEdge. So our IT team and FieldEdge's IT team are working together so that our systems will talk constantly with each other. So if you're using FieldEdge for all your other field service and you want to use us for the proposal program, they can actually talk back and forth with each other, so you don't have to do double entry. We also have, if you're using ServiceTitan, we have an API with ServiceTitan that is working now. It's not as robust, but it does help with duplicate entry. So if you put a customer and a job for like a proposal in ServiceTitan, it can feed back into our system so that you can then you can convert that customer to or that job to a customer, and you don't have to duplicate entry customer information into ServiceTitan and into HVAC BizPro. Once that job is actually sold, so the customer has selected their options and they accepted the proposal, that information feeds back into ServiceTitan for that customer. We also have a QuickBooks Online integration. We've had that for a while. I actually saw it work today because I'd never actually seen it work. So I had a customer who was using it and she actually let me watch how it worked, and it works very well with that. We are working on a desktop version for QuickBooks. So if you're using desktop still, we should have that API with them coming up soon. And the next big API that we're going to work on is Zapier. And once we do a Zapier, a stand-up Zapier API, then any service that you're using can actually connect to our system through some webhooks. In addition, we have Optimus and Spectrum and Green Sky as far as financing in our program. We can also take, if you have a financing link on your website, we can actually put that into your proposal program, and it will print out a link on the proposal saying, finance through, click here, and the customer can actually click on that link and go apply for financing directly to your website. So in 2022, the plan is dealers will come directly to ESS, where in the past TEC has purchased the program and then offered it to you through their marketing program. But now you'll come directly to us. These are our offerings as far as what you want. You can do it. You want everything, and that's the cost. Or you can pick your monthly plan. You can pick and choose which options of the program you want to use. It is co-opable for any qualified dealers. And this pricing is for company-wide. This is not per person or per proposal. It is for your company. You can have one person using it, or you could have 45 people using it. That is the cost. And if you have any questions, you can always contact us at info@entsellingsolutions.com to ask us any questions. If you wanted a more personalized demo, anything like that, you can certainly contact us through this information here. Okay, what I would like to do now, since I have a few minutes, I would like to go and actually do an actual demo. And let's go here. Just kind of so you can see how it works. So here in the demo site, if a customer calls in, you can go to dispatch, but let's say you've already dispatched, and let's go over here to proposals. We're going to go proposals, create a proposal. And what we do is help you build templates. So in your area, you probably have an AC, a gas furnace, and a coil. In Florida, we're going to have a heat pump, an air handler, and a heat strip. But we help you build as many templates as you like. So your sales reps would choose an existing template. And let's say this happens to be a 3.5 ton, 80% gas furnace. I'm going to choose that one. You can start typing in your customer's name or address, and that will pull over here. If I was already signed in as the sales rep, since I'm in an admin side, I wasn't, but if I was already signed in as a sales rep, my name would already be there. It would automatically assign it to me. But what I'm doing now is I'm taking everything that we built in that template and I'm transferring it over to a customer proposal. So once in that customer proposal, once it loads, I can manipulate this based on those customer's need, and then it does not affect my templates. So here is everything that was built in that proposal or that template. So if I needed to modify this for any reason, I can actually just backspace and modify it here, and it would give me the drop down of whatever I may need. So I'll just go back and choose that. We house like all these product data sheets for the sales reps should they need to open it. But we also try to make sure all of this information is right at their fingertips so they don't necessarily have to open up the product data sheet. Here's where they would pull in HRI. It takes a little while, especially for carrier, to load an HRI. So when we're building your templates, we would want to go ahead and make sure that is selected. If they change it, they'll have to reload it. But at the time of the template, if we select it, it should stay there. You can add any notes to each one of those quality levels, and it could be based on what you're offering there, or it could be based on some special your company's offering system-wide. Parts details go here, so any kind of part that you need to add to this would go in there. Your service details with your labor units. And these are all those things you're going to do on a job. It can have a cost or not have a cost, and it can follow your margin or not. Oops, sorry. Hit the wrong button. Give me just a second to load this back. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Financial details, your sales reps will not see this unless you allow them to see it. And if they can see it, they can change it. And you can put some cap parameters on there so that they can't change it past a certain amount. You can offer discounts. You can apply it to the selling price, or you can not apply it to the selling price. So let's say we're going to offer a 3% cash discount, but I'm not going to apply it to the selling price, but I am going to offer it. Upgrades. So these are any IAQ upgrades, parts upgrades, anything that you want to offer to that customer would go here. And then they can have this is your cost, including all of your markup and everything here that you are offering that customer with that install. And this is how you're going to allow your customers to pay. You can add photos and documents of the job. And then here we're just going to print proposal. And when I say print proposal, it is going to actually print to screen and not to paper. It's printing to screen. So let me go print again. Well, I really messed it up. Okay, let's try this now. So obviously, if I were a sales rep and I was sitting at the kitchen table, I would have gone click, 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 not explained all that, and would have already shown them my proposal. Again, all of these photos are housed in our database. We mine this data for you. They can click on these consumer brochures. You can see included rebates and other incentives. So this is going to be different than this because this is not included in that incentive at the moment. Again, they can click on these links. They'll show a financing amount here. These are all those included services. And if you notice, we had pulled permit at $150. That is included in all 4 of those options, but it doesn't print out here. So anything you need to put as far as certain markup or certain extra money into the job, you can actually put it in here and it does not print out on the proposal. Here are those upgrades, so we can actually watch the videos. And we get these from usually from that manufacturer's website. How they want to pay, and again, like if they could click here and go to your Wells Fargo link to apply for financing, choose their system, print their name, sign their name, and accept the terms of the agreement. Well, we know all contractors or all customers don't always accept the proposal at the kitchen table, so you would come over here and email it. You would email it to the customer and to the sales rep, and if you are signed up for texting, they would also get it via text. They'll get it initially, they'll get it in 3 days, 2 weeks, and 4 weeks. But regardless of whether they're sitting at the kitchen table or they've come over here and they're like, you know what, I applied for financing, I can afford that payment. I want this upgrade. I applied for financing, best system. They can print their name, sign their name, and accept the terms of the agreement. So what's going to happen is everything that I did not choose is going to fall away, and it's only going to have what I chose for my system. There's emails that go out, so the customer would get an email of their signed proposal, so they would get an email that looks like this. And then the contractor, you decide who gets one email, which is an email of everything that was on that proposal, but it doesn't have any financial information. That can go to your installers as a punch list, and you also get a financial summary email. So that's what our proposal looks like. Again, if anybody has any questions or anything, please feel free to ask. If you want any contact information, Ryan has my contact information, so I can actually do a personal demo should you like. Okay, Ryan, do we have any questions?
So Kathy, this is Talia. I have a couple of questions here. Obviously, what you showed has all of the equipment and everything in it. Can you tell us a little bit about the onboarding process?
Absolutely.
That relates to signing up for this.
Right. So when a contractor signs up, the first thing they get is an email with next steps. What we need is their pricing, and we would reach out to TEC to get their pricing file. And then TEC also has an API where they update the pricing automatically, but their initial pricing file we would get through TEC, upload it to their site, and then we would send out an onboarding, or you would fill out an onboarding form. And then what we would do is schedule a Zoom meeting. We schedule it for 2 hours. It can take the 2 hours or it can take a lot less, just depending on how much you want us to do. Based on that onboarding form, we would complete the back end that feeds like all the gross margins and all the other stuff to the templates and to the proposals. And then we would help you build templates. So we would just do a Zoom meeting and we would say, okay, what do you want in your best system? What do you want in your better system? What, which model numbers? And we would help you build all of that out, as many as you like. And then do any training that you like with your sales reps. As far as, the onboarding is not hard. What I always suggest is put each other in as customers or put your family in as customers and just play around in it to get comfortable with it, because we can always go back and delete those. Any other questions?
And if you are a smaller dealer, so most of our NEC dealers are smaller, owner who does office work, who is a tech, so they're out in the field. They might have one other tech, maybe they might have two. How is this product going to benefit them? Is it easy to learn? Is it easy for them to commute, have a conversation with their homeowner at the kitchen table? How is this going to benefit them if they're that tiny? And will they understand how to do it?
Yes, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, our goal is to handhold you through the whole process. I will tell you, we have a lot of small contractors that use our entire system because they can run their entire business from this program. Again, you can pick and choose what you want, but the proposal program will help you present proposals in a very professional, very fast way with 4 options so that you can upsell. So again, yeah, I mean, we have small contractors on here, 1 or 2 trucks, and then we have larger contractors. So it's really for anyone. In fact, that was one of Dwayne's things when he first started building this and first started offering the proposal program. He wanted everybody to be able to afford it. We're not ever going to be a service titan or anything like that. It's always going to be, affordable for anyone, whether you have 1 truck or 50 trucks.
So what else is, I know like on one of the first slides that you showed different things. So I know we're talking about the ESS software, but you also, what else does the software do for a dealer?
Okay, so we have service flat rate. So if you have a flat rate program, so here is, I'll just show you what a service ticket looks like. You come in, we have service values. You can put in the complaint or issue, the diagnosis, the service values, before and after repair. But let's see if this will, let's see what, oh, he didn't do anything here. Sorry about that. All right, let's go back over here to service tickets and let's find one that's actually done. So this is one that's already been accepted, but I can show you what it looks like. But here is what the complainer issue. We found a faulty compressor because there was no AC. Here was the 3-ton compressor, the capacitor, and this is what the cost was. You can give them discounts if they're on a maintenance plan, and it will show, and it'll show them if they were on a maintenance plan, they would qualify for the discount. So this customer was not. So you can actually go back and sell them a maintenance plan. But this is what it looks like that once they accept it. This would be their invoice. You can also use Stripe within our program. So if you sign up with Stripe, you can actually connect it to our program and you can take payment right here in the program. You don't have to carry around a swiper or anything like that. So you can just go ahead and charge my card. I think you get it within 24 to 48 hours. They charge 2.9% of the total. So that is one thing you can do. Again, there was the dispatching, the load calculator. It does connect to QuickBooks. So if I go back over here to, let's go to a service ticket that has actually been completed and collected. Let's look at this one. This one is in green, so it's been completed and collected. So if you're using QuickBooks Online, you can come down here once that is completed and collected and invoice that into QuickBooks, and it will actually send an invoice over into QuickBooks. And at the top here, it will tell you that it was invoiced in QuickBooks and what the invoice number was. So there's that application. Eventually, like I said, we are working on getting a desktop version, and that should come sometime this year.
Okay, and then I saw that you had put up a page that had different rates. And there was one that was $199 a month, and I don't remember what it said. I think it was $199 monthly, and you pick.
Yes. Let me go back. Yeah, let me go to that. Let me go to register. So here's our registration page. It's entsellingsolutions.com register, and here's where you can register for the program. So again, this includes everything we have. So if you're interested in everything, get with us and we can talk to you about it. This is if you do it for semi-annually. This would be annually. So that would be an annual contract. And here's where, if you just want everything and you only want to pay for it monthly, but here's where you can pick and choose what you want. The $199 is for the proposal software, which is our flagship. And then you can add in other things. Like if you wanted to add in the texting feature for $50 or even a texting and dispatch together, we give you a discount of $25. It's only $75. Also for TEC contractors, if, within the next few months, if you reach out, we do have a code that will waive a $500 setup fee. So right now we have a $500 setup fee for all new contractors. But if you want to use our program, we will certainly waive that. Again, there's no contract here. That's normally why we charge the $500, but there's no contract. We only ask for a 30-day notice. And
Okay.
again, unlimited users, so it's company-wide. So even if all you use is that $199 a month proposal program, that is, whether you've got one person or 50 people using it, that's still going to be the cost.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to ask that because I see unlimited users on the other ones, but not on that one. So
Yeah, we probably need to add that down there, but it is unlimited.
so the 199 is just for the residential proposal.
That is
and
correct.
As opposed to the I Want It All plan, which is everything that you offer.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and even with the 199, if you want to pay for it annually, so that say you already have your co-op, you've got enough co-op to cover that annually. We did put it here so you could pay for it annually and go ahead and get all your co-op, you know, the half of that up front. Otherwise, you would have to submit it each month for, you know, for your half, your $99.50.
Hey, I'm just excited if they submit those to me on a regular basis.
I understand. I've been there. Been there. And again, if they want to reach out, you know, you guys can give them, you know, my direct email address or our info address, and we can schedule, you know, a Q&A and, you know, and go through in more detail the back end of the system and how it gets set up.
Okay, and for our dealers that are elite, I mean, obviously I know that it's co-opable. Do you physically go to the dealerships, or do you do everything kind of over a webinar meeting?
We usually do it over a webinar. We can go to the dealership should they want, but we also have training classes in St. Augustine, Florida. We've got their 2-day training classes. The first day is just on the program, on how to use the program, and then the second day is a full-fledged like sales type training that you can send your, you know, you can come to or send your sales reps to. There is a fee for that class for the 2 days, and it's mainly because we have to rent a room and we feed you and we take you to dinner and that kind of stuff. But if you ever come to one class, then you're grandfathered in from then on. So if you ever want to come back, there's no charge to come back to the class, just your travel and your hotel.
Okay. One other thing is I see buy today and get TelePro Live free. What is that?
So TelePro Live is it's not owned by ESS, but we have a partner that we're promoting, and it's like if you've ever seen Teledoc, where you're getting on a video call with a doctor. Well, TelePro Live is, let's say a contract or a customer calls in and says, "Hey, my AC is not working. You know, I don't know what's wrong with it." And instead of sending a tech out, especially if you're really busy, instead of sending a tech out, you can actually get on a video call with that customer. Hey, walk me to your thermostat. You can actually see a video walking through the thermostat. You can actually have the customer hold it up and take a picture of that thermostat. You can take a picture of the plate on the condensing unit or the air handler. And if there's something you see that you can help them fix right then there would be no charge. And it also records it into the system, and then they can actually look in HVAC Biz Pro, see the recording, hear the recording, and assign it to a tech to go out to service that unit should they need to. The other way to use it is for quality assurance. Let's say you've got lots of installs. If it's really busy and you've got all these installs out there and you're a quality assurance manager, you can actually use that as quality assurance with your installers. Say, you know, hey, walk me to where you installed the air handler. You know, you didn't wrap this or you didn't do that. Oh, is that your drill laying there? Don't forget your drill. You know, little things like that. And again, it records it and takes photos.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, do we have any other questions? Or
I don't see any other questions typed in, and nobody's got their little digital hand raised, so I think we are probably all wrapped up.
okay, great. Well, again, thank you guys for having me. And we are here to help your contractors and to EC sell more and sell higher end equipment.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, thanks so much. Have a good one.
Yep, bye.